So...
I don't know whether that was sarcastic or not, even to myself.
Is Mac's button broken?
No.
Button
It's
one.
working beautiful.
After you fixed it, or?
No, after he...
Because it was working, it was just
It was
the
working.
naming convention was off.
That was all.
Yeah.
It was working really good, actually.
So hopefully that should be useful for
You
whenever...
sure Max coded it?
Hey, I'm getting better.
Chosen you are mine.
What's up with all the crosses on people?
That was where people are meant to be standing because people started moving.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's right apart from
Just,
Ashley's, where I'm now holding my mouse where he should be.
Okay.
How are we doing at the moment?
Actually, I need to go grab a drink just so that I'm not going to strain my throat from talking for hours. 1 second.
God, I should have done this last night. Just had a few drinks and just chilled.
That's what D&D is for.
Actually, no, I did. I had a couple of drinks last D&D, and then I kind of went through. Already sobered up. What?
So, welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Have we started recording? Have we started
Wacka
recording?
wacka 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 wacka.
Yep, always good.
Oh, your connection to the server has been interrupted.
Sound test. Sound test. Sound test.
Why are you coughing?
Maybe see
He's a
something.
weird-
Words of song.
Words of song.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
4.
47.5.
Pineapple.
It's like legitimately a mathematical figured out way that like Siri and different things do, or as much wood as a wood could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. That's my favourite answer.
What about how many pounds the groundhog mountain?
Why am I by the
no,
bridge? That's
Jerry's
not where I
in the-
logged off.
Pepper.
Yeah, it actually was.
Pickle Pepper did Peter Piper pick. Oh.
Oh,
This is where you were, Ashley.
No, because I was down here.
No, you weren't.
You walked all the way up there,
If
then
she
fell
sells
asleep.
seashells on the seashore, how many shells did she sell on the seashore?
That's where you were, because that's where.
None because she's a
Dale
slut
knew
and
you.
just slept around.
With me, apparently.
We know you like the pussy.
I like to move it. You like to
move that.
JJ, are you in the other side of your room again?
No, I literally just said, ignore my voice, I'm just making a cup of tea.
That means
Maybe
he's on the
what-
other...
No,
He's actually walking to Dale's house to make him a cup of tea.
I'm there now, I'm knocking on the door.
What the? Fuck off!
Hey, buddy.
I kind of half wanted Sachin to be like, wait, what? They just come back, just come outside a minute later. What's going on?
It does actually sound like he was outside your door, without saying any of like the audio coming in.
Go, giddy up.
Just means there's more creases.
More faults.
I really wish I had 2 monitors. This would be so much easier. I used to just have all my stuff on one screen.
But I don't know what DVI takes you my way. Like, it's only ever been used on this computer, my DVI HDMI. I link that up to my big screen and then my, or whichever way around I did it.
That's what you think.
Yeah, so I could have
But I don't believe you.
It's either behind here somewhere, just lost in the infinite abyss. Oh, for fuck's sake!
He's lost in the infinite abyss too.
Ah, JJ, you're back.
Yes, with my cup of tea.
But mine.
Yeah, where's Tails?
I gave it to you. It's on your desk.
Oh, well, I just knocked it over with my jacket.
See, it's gone into the abyss now, so you can't see it.
Yeah, it's just lost there with like. It's that Laban's joke. When you drop a screw, what is it? Every time you drop something, it just blends into your carpet.
Making my dog watch commercials of homeless dogs so he knows how good he's got it.
That was great. I know I'm going to treat you here.
Oh wait, let me get my little app so I forgot how much gold that I had left after stealing Ashley's and buying myself some.
I've got a total of 118 gold.
I have 1 gold. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? You've got a total of 10,000 gold.
Not on me.
As far as you're aware.
I didn't deposit. I didn't withdraw all of it, Max.
You
Holy
just took out
shit.
A bag of £1,000. You know, little loose change.
Yeah, JJ, you should know all about that.
Sounds like son.
Now you know what it feels like to be JJ.
Well, I am about to go buy a load of things, so I do need. I am going to be spending it.
Just don't buy iTunes vouchers. It's a slippery slope.
God.
Well, that's the point. Are we gonna do this as well or not?
What?
Are we gonna try and figure out how to show our faces?
Nah.
Because I'm currently in conversation, Marrick's gonna go for a shower, and if my ceiling's any weak, it's gonna come through behind me.
Nah, I definitely want to film that.
It's fine. We'll probably do that for like a
I only
better
pick up my
campaign
webcam
sort of thing.
half the time anyway.
Yeah.
Because what is it? We'll probably just use Skype or maybe do it in person if we want really any visuals to be recorded.
Yeah, I mean,
No
all you have to
visuals.
do is set up a big old camera in the corner of the room.
Hmm.
Films everything.
No visuals.
It'll be so much better when we get our
Actually,
own
why
place.
not? You've got such a beautiful face. The
Yeah,
world
but you
needs
don't.
to see
and the
your.
world doesn't need to see yours.
And stop flirting with the cameraman every time you're there.
Wait, who? What?
James.
Hello.
Stop flirting with the cameraman.
Yeah, you guys.
Can't help it.
She's
It's
your
funny 'cause it was
girlfriend.
Ali.
Which one? Wait, no, joke. I'm not a bigamist. I'll never get married.
Ain't go giddy up. Boo-boo-doo-doo.
Now kiss.
Are we ready to go?
No.
Right, let's
No.
do this.
Yes.
That's why I
Rory,
tried to start
kick
and
things
then
off,
everything.
buddy.
Well, you already started. But...
That poor dog.
Go on,
So, obviously, welcome back, and as you can see, everybody's where they should be. Hopefully, no one's randomly teleported across the map. So, obviously, we left off
I have
with
no idea what you mean.
we've got Sirloin looking through the library with Benetton, who both aren't very interested in the history of what they were looking for, but kind of did it anyway. We got Jovis over by Eldon as he was sleeping in the town square with everybody giving him evil glares because obviously he's supposed to be a slave of some sort. So, what do you guys want to do?
I miss sword.
Go to the bank.
Last campaign. Yes, I did. There it is.
What?
What?
I go to the bank.
Okay. What would you like to do at the bank?
What's there? Can I do a
What's on the
perception
bank?
check?
They have a coffee shop and also lots of lovely flowers.
Is it a Costa?
They are both a Costa and a Starbucks because it's franchised like a
And a bank.
shoes.
Ashley,
Yes.
I crossed. it.
Wink advertisement.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
There are other coffee shops available.
Hey, to be honest, you probably would need to be in a bank so that you could withdraw all your money to pay for the drinks that they sell there. So,
Oh,
Oh.
I want to deposit some inventory shit.
okay. You walk into the bank and you see pretty much rows of goblins talking to like various other races and people walking in, like obviously talking about like financial things and blah blah blah. And you obviously walk up to the front desk and say, "I have some things to deposit." And he looks at you. It's kind of like, "You look a bit too scruffy to be here."
Okay. I roll a get the fuck out my way and let me do what I want.
Check.
Intimidation?
No. I go, but I want to store money in your vault.
Oh, don't take it the wrong way. I just saying that you look like shit.
Oh, so do you, but you don't hear me fucking complaining.
Hey, this is my bank. I can say what I want.
And?
You gonna give me the money or what?
Not sure I want to now.
Well, that's your problem then, isn't it? It sounds like a you problem to me.
Oh, that's it. Fucking intimidate that bitch.
Okay, go on then.
We are how far in, and the first intimidation of the session has already happened.
I need to find my character sheet quick.
That's fine.
Yeah, going up. Oh, fuck's sake, PDF. Intimidation. Okay, 0. That was well worth the look up. Boom.
What did he want? He's just like, hey, I can get the guards to throw you out if you're going to be giving me your shit.
Right, so how does the bank work, quickly?
What
If
do
I
you
give
mean?
him 5 gold, does
Mhm.
he note down that 5 gold has gone into the bank? Is it like modern day banks, or how?
Well, this
like
is
a vault-
Victorian time, so they'll mark it down in a massive sort of,
Ledger.
ledger, and then obviously make note of it being in your vault and blah blah blah.
So I could sleight of hand give him 5 gold and take away 3 of them.
hand.
So it's like he puts 2 away and then
This guy
it
works
marks down
in
as
a
5.
bank. Surely he
Um,
would know what coins look like.
Well, if you do it in a pouch, he won't be able and do sleight of hand or some sort of like persuasion. He'll take it as like face value and do it that way.
3, 4, 5, and then just take the last few out and the last 5th one.
So what about storing items? As in like
Um,
physical items.
Well, you can't put metaphysical items into a bank, I don't think.
Why not? You've got a mind bank.
Because what do you want to put in? Because they do use it as
The
like a
indies.
storage for you know.
Deeds to the inn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So I put deeds to the inn in the bank. And I put 20 gold.
Okay. And then he asks, "That'll be 5 coins for me time.
5 what coins?
5 gold coins. We don't
5
deal
gold
with
coins.
silver here."
Fucking greedy goblin. Right. Okay.
Okay.
27 gold.
So he pockets the 5 coins. And you notice not a lot of anybody else is actually handing in money, like, after having their transaction done.
Okay. Why?
So,
Can I roll a perception?
yeah, sure.
+2. I see everyone's pins!
You notice that this isn't the type of place where you pay to, like, deposit money. It's not one of those sort of banks that, you know, if you want to store something, they'll ask you to pay. It's just that he is actually asking you to pay him personally.
It's a shakedown.
Yeah.
Okay. I ask him, can I speak to his manager, please?
So that, why do you want to speak to him?
I want to see if I could come here and work.
You don't look
Earn
like a
some money.
goblin. You're a bit short, but you're not. Well, look
I
at
roll
me.
a persuade.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or are you trying to? Oh.
Fuck.
No, I'm not gonna go get him. You've been giving me so much shit all this time.
I haven't given you any shit. You've been shit to me.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I've been delightful to you.
You charged me 5 gold. Is that company policy?
Of course, of course.
I would like to see your manager, please.
No.
Yes.
Are you going to intimidate him?
With the perception,
Yeah.
did I see if there was anyone in charge?
You
Like,
did
looking
notice
for
there was a man wearing a cleaner, nicer suit. Kind of look like an older, greyer sort of goblin who does look more important than the rest.
I go up to him and I ask to make a complaint.
Okay. You walk away and the like the goblin you were talking to just kind of snorts and like laughs to himself, just like but yeah, you walk up to this old one and he's just like, "Can I help you?"
I've just been charged 5 gold to make a deposit. I just want to know that was company policy, sir. What are you laughing at, Rory?
He pushes up his spectacles and kind of like glares down at you, and he's just like, "No, this is not the type of place that asks for money when depositing. Obviously, all the income we take a fraction of when you put it in, but no, we do not ask for payment up front."
Then that's what one of your employees just did.
I
feel
assure
like I've
you,
been cheated
sir,
out of gold.
none of our employees are that kind of goblin.
Can I roll a persuade?
Well, you haven't really pointed to anyone, and you haven't really done
Oh,
anything. But if you
him.
want to,
That one.
he
That
glares
goblin
over at
there.
him, and he sees him like snickering, and he's just like, "Okay, I'll have a word with him." And he walks over and starts to like talk to him, and he holds the goblin holds up the pouch of your like money that like the gold that you gave him in his hand, and the man, the greyer goblin, snatches it from his hand and shouts at him like in the front of everyone. Everybody kind of like turns and looks at this guy. It's just like, "You dare try and take money from our clientele, you scumbag!" And like throws him across the floor and snaps his fingers as 2 like trolls start to walk along and grabs him by his like scruff of his clothes. And he comes back to you, the older man, and like places it in front of you, and he's just like, "I'm so sorry, sir. Shan't happen again."
Can I have any compensation for my troubles?
Of course. I put an extra 10 gold.
Into the bank, yeah?
Yeah.
Only Ashley.
What?
Money's what makes the world go round. You wouldn't know, you rich bastard.
But yeah, that's essentially how it all goes, and you see the trolls like throw the goblin out into the street and tear
Do I
it.
get my 5 gold back as well?
Oh yeah, he placed it on the table and pushed it towards you.
Cool.
Kind of hands you like a little velvet bag for like any sort of gold that you get later.
Cool.
Yeah, is that all you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't deposit any in the end?
No, he
Did.
did.
Ah, good.
He deposited 5 and also got an increase of 10 in his bank. So.
I posited 20, remember?
Did you?
Yeah, 20.
Oh.
It was 20. Then he charged me 5 for the thing. I got the 5 back, and then I got plus 10, which means I've got 30 in the bank.
Ah, okay. Where's my pens, just so I can mark
I
this all
thought
down.
it was 5.
So yeah, as you like walk back out, you see the goblin that charged you the coin, and he's like,
I walk up to him and go, and walk off.
yeah, you walk past and he kind of looks solemn, like looking into the dirt as he's covered in mud from the ground. Yeah, you walk away.
Now who looks scruffy, bitch?
It goes around, comes around. One
That's a you problem.
Perfect.
And then you bump into Jovis, who's somehow walked down there. An hour journey. There's someone
That's
walked
not
down
that.
to you.
Yeah, it fucking took that long for that argument.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
okay.
Well, no, I'm making my way to look for Sirloin because he's the only one that I passed on my journey who told me to go to the blacksmith. So I was trying to find you guys on the way back. I'm not aware that you're at the library, am I? So
No. So yeah, you walk past and you find Van walking around, like smiling to himself, obviously pleased with the fact that this little shithead got thrown back into the streets where he belongs. What'd you do?
I go to find the paladin. I ask people if
They
they've
all-
seen him.
They look around and they're just like, the paladin? I haven't seen one today. Are you talking about the ones in the gold armor that search for criminals?
I don't know. Is the paladin in the silver armor like he is in the picture?
Yeah. His armor's silver and the gold are a higher court type of, you know.
Looking for a silver one.
this is not accurate.
I know.
We'll give it away.
Do you want it to be accurate?
Like earlier,
Times it by 10.
We stood in was like 30 feet. Now it's the entire. It would have took me 2 minutes to get from here to there. I was like, what's realistically the distance I would have covered whilst he was, you know, trying to just make it for that little bit more RP.
I'm
Maybe I would've
60
gone
feet long.
Is that better?
I could have covered the entire city and back. I could have sort of found these guys during that conversation.
Remember, you are little. Is that better though? Is that about
Really?
right?
it's
Because
better.
to me, he's like 30 foot.
How
Yeah,
long is this entire city?
I am massive. Wait, resize me to make it fair. This seems about right. It's just I'm gonna be negligible. I have to zoom in so far. Remember, I'm 4 foot exactly, according to my character. It's not even measurable.
There you go. It's that big. The little blue above my foot.
And this is top down, so how wide are you? He'll be like just a little bit. Maybe less than that.
955 feet.
In which case,
That's
I
pretty
feel
good.
like would these rivers realistically be 14 feet apart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. Is this accurate?
Yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about full accuracy, being though Brighton's now London. I mean, nod.
What?
Well,
Sword
eventually.
is 36 feet long.
Yeah, I can't help it, mate. This sword's not very good either. I might have to get a new one.
Makes it so.
This is my
Right,
two-hand
enough
sword.
about the.
On the
how
plus side,
everything is not to scale.
Oh my
I have
god!
a 1 kilometer beer, so I am fucking merry.
Wait. That's
7.1 kilometers. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess no,
No.
it's too big.
no, it's not.
Nah, it'd be about
London is 1,572 kilometer squared.
What, back in Victorian times?
Yes, it hasn't changed too much from Victorian times in size
Yes,
wise.
it has expanded by tenfold.
Has it? Anyway.
Oh.
But remember, this is Brighton anyway.
7 kilometers. Fucking hell.
2.
Why is it always dark in Brighton?
Wow.
Is it setting up a joke?
No, it's just
Do I need to prepare to be offended in some way, shape, or form?
See, now this wall's 4 kilometers long. Not the whole thing. No, this one segment.
Oh.
Back to point. I was.
This house here is half a kilometer long.
I would have made it about here, I reckon, along this bridge. So, like, us looking for you. I wanted to move whilst you were having.
Did no one
converse.
tell you we're going to the library?
No, I passed. You told me to go to the blacksmith.
Decision, didn't we?
Yeah,
we're
I
already
figured you were
right.
going to get something for the blacksmith. It turns out your gear's
Oh
fantastic.
god, 43 miles.
No, I got a broadsword so I could carry my umbrella later as well. slice things in case we're getting near to the acid rain.
Excellent.
Oh.
Rightio. Well, me and JJ, I guess we're gonna carry on with our research.
Can
GG.
I roll to check if there's any like secret books or like passages hidden in the library?
Sure.
Roll a perception. Rolls a 1. You can't
Or you
see the
might
shelf
want
in
to
front
roll
of you.
arcane or something. See if there's any magical runes.
Rolls a 1. You forget how to read. Benetton complains there are not enough pictures in this book.
Yeah, no, you don't find any particular sort of hidden anythings really. It seems that it's all very open. It's not trying to hide anything in particular.
Okay. I just continue reading some books.
Yeah, you read some nice novels of like Romeo and Juliet and.
No, about the crater. Not just any book.
Oh.
I also saw nothing.
Yeah. So the crater, like in the books that you read, they're all like myths and tales, really. Not a lot of them are like factually accurate. Like any sort of research articles you find tends to have like a lot of bias in, like, oh, I was a great survivor of this sort of calamity. The creator is,
The creator is love. The creator is life.
Yeah.
The creator's a dangerous place, and obviously, I'm a
assuming
big
the
brave
crater's
hero.
about the same size as this city?
What?
Are we assuming this crater's about the same size as this city? Sort of width.
From the stories you read, it's bigger than the city.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Right, if it's just folk tales, I want to do some reading about Romeo and Juliet. I
Okay.
didn't have any copies of 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, you say that, and you actually do find a copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
I
Alright,
immediately start reading.
I see that my companion has started
JJ
reading.
has burnt down the library.
Steak man. I mean paladin. Sirloin.
Steak.
I called you.
As if by magic, as my spidey senses tingle, I hear my voice being mentioned, so I run outside.
I'm a dragon, not a spider.
No, as I noticed that the research is sort of halted, he started reading like books of stories and things. I leave the library.
Okay.
No, I won't find you yet. Go carry on your reading. I got a few.
No, I did. My character didn't give a shit anyway.
No.
No shit's given.
Um,
No shit.
now, JJ,
Oh, sirloin. There you are.
give me a
Jarvis.
wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Oh no, sorry, perception, I guess.
Oh, perception. Okay. I'll say wisdom. Shit, I have no modifier for that. That'd be fucked. Right.
Okay, yeah, that's good. The more you read of those like books written about the crater and everything, you realise that a lot of them have similar names of like the writer, the author,
Oh shit. Yeah.
and his name is 1 second. Need to get the generator up. Oh wow. Oh my god, what are you doing? Fuck's sake, shut up. No, seriously.
What's going on?
Oh, he's being an idiot.
Who is?
Rory, as always.
Oh, what?
Me? I didn't do nothing.
Well, Matt says differently.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that.
Get back to your sleeping.
Fuck's sake.
We'll be up to you in a moment. I'm gonna go poke on you and say, "Have you been here all day?"
God, some of these names are really hard to pronounce.
You left me here.
It's gone hours. What are you still doing here?
I'm trying to send a picture of the broadsword that I potentially have brought, but I can't send anything over the chat in this game.
So yeah, the name you find is Simon Wright.
Simon Wright.
Well, you're not wrong.
But
Say,
It's a W with and then just Wright.
okay.
Right with a W and not with just an R.
Thank you.
But yeah, and yeah, it sticks out to you really. Like you kind of remember that name.
Do you remember?
Right, I have a goal now.
Okay.
Find Simon Wright is mine.
Who else? What do you want to do?
I'm trying to
Well,
find James.
I'm going to go talk to Jovis.
Okay.
Versus Alexa.
yeah.
Jorvis versus
Well,
Sirloin.
actually, technically, Jovis was trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just where have you been, Sirloin?
I was at the library. Your friend there has found out some information about the crater that you might be interested in.
Awesome. I was just about to ask. I brought myself a broadsword so I can have more weapons to destroy anything friendly or foe.
Ah,
Great.
very, very good. The library is that way.
Let's go. Wait, what? Where are you going?
They don't give a shit.
Don't give a fuck. Alright, I'm gonna join.
I don't give a fuck.
Ah, Benetton. I never knew you were here.
Yeah.
Sirloin doesn't tell me shit, just enough information to point me in the direction. Is.
Good day. I'm just doing a bit of reading.
How did your discovery go?
Yes, it seems that a lot of the information on the crater was wrote by someone called Simon Wright.
I bet he was wrong.
Wait a minute.
May I roll for investigation to see if I can dig up any more through the similar journals? Help you.
Indeed.
Yeah, this is my thing. Go away. Fuck off.
Hey, I've been asking all the way around town. Get something done.
If you don't mind, I'm very busy reading.
Oh, come on, the lowest investigation roll I've rolled yet.
You find nothing. You can't even find the books that he was reading.
Even though they're on the table in front.
No, it's not even that. It's because when he put them back, they're on too high of shelves for you to reach.
Wait, no, I got this. I can roll for agility. And climb up.
The recovery.
No, he can't. You don't know they're there. You
It
can't
won't
see
help you
them.
now.
It's the recovery roll.
My athletics is +5.
Rolls a 1. Falls flat on his face. All the shells fall on top.
Go on, Dale.
Can I?
Yeah, give it a roll. Let's see what
Up-
happens.
it's up
It's
to
1d20
you.
still, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, fuck.
Never mind.
I fall off the.
That lovely +5. So good. Yeah, no. You try and climb the shelves, but obviously they just don't have the like proper grips because all the books are like pushing you kind of out. So yeah, you can't get to the shelves that all the information that you could find is on.
Oh.
So what else do you want to do then?
I take me time to travel back to the inn.
God.
Drink away my sorrows.
What, the inn in the slums?
There
No,
is-
it's true. That's the only one I know. Okay, so I'll just go
There
out.
is another inn here. There's
In here.
there's the Silver Fox Inn
Roll for perception.
or the
Checking for it.
Minstrel's Cup.
No.
You haven't heard anybody talk about it.
I guess I'll loiter in the street for now then. That's what else can do. That's it. What's actually going on me?
I don't
It's
know why, but my
okay.
character is literally the clingiest fucking character ever.
So yeah,
He's
Zoom
like,
in on
"Oh,
this.
what the-"
Love me. He loved me.
well, it's because you're the same height.
Bah. Advale, get down!
I can't see.
So yeah, what do you guys want to do then? Apart
I
from
want to.
hump him.
I asked Jovis where JJ is.
Okay, he was in the library.
Where be the library?
There. Okay.
Hello, JJ.
Hello, who's JJ?
Benetton.
The Venenton?
Yeah,
Is it B or
Benetton.
V?
Benetton.
Benetton. Ah. So it's not venison.
No, we've still got sirloin though.
Sirloin venison.
Benetton should now be venison, and we should name everyone after meats.
Oh, we could do that. Jovis just becomes ham.
Does that mean you'll be Hovis? I mean, it's a food.
I'm googling the best thing.
Horvis.
I know, just the bread and this meat sandwich. Over.
What would
I rolled
Eldon
a
and
perception
Vane
in
be?
the library.
Vane is just a grapevine.
Oh god.
Great, I'll
Yeah,
try to type
sure.
venison.
Roll perception.
Green.
Did you stab your own eyes?
What? With
Okay.
a perception check? No.
Yeah.
You go looking around, and because you're short, you try and climb to the upper shelves, being a little bit more nimble. And as you go to reach up to try and grab another part of the shelf to climb on, you grab a book and pull it all down. You then get crushed by books, and you take one.
Can I
damage
do an
damage.
athletics to see if I land on my feet?
Nope, you got a 1. You take 1 damage from the book.
Well, fuck.
Did you climb the same shafts that I tried to climb?
Jovis is just laughing away like, tried that one already.
First you don't succeed, get someone else to do it. Fail, apparently. What we gained.
After I've made it back to the market square, I ask Rory's character. I've forgot his name.
Ask him
Eldon.
Eldon, yeah?
Yeah.
Eldon, how good are your weapons? What weapons do you own?
I own a great club and a heavy crossbow.
Very nice, very nice. Come into the weapon store with me.
Okay.
Yeah, so Max, I'll go sort out my transaction first.
what. Okay.
I'd like to talk to that weapon guy again.
Mm-hmm. So,
Hello again.
hello.
Now,
Welcome.
about that chain sword.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'd like to purchase it.
Okay, sir. That will be
$1 billion.
1 second. Okay. Oh, it doesn't even have a fucking cost. That's 500 gold.
Did it just called chain sword?
Yeah.
Okay. 500 gold. Yep.
Oh wait. Did
Yeah.
I
I just
say
passed over.
500 last time?
Yes, something like that. 500 and something, or just 500. It was
If
500.
only there was
I
some
think it was-
sort of recording to go back to where it was.
Hmm.
No, that's not possible.
Let's say 250 for the sake of.
It's a really good weapon, right?
No, there's a better one. There's a heavy
Okay,
chainsaw.
so it was 200 and something, yeah?
Yeah, 250, and then for the heavy chainsaw, which is a two-handed one, that's the 500 one.
Okay, makes sense.
Go for that one.
No, because I need
The
one
whole
handed.
point was him trying to find a one-handed sword.
Yeah.
So that's 250 gone, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Orc. Check with this guy to see if there's a weapon that's better than yours.
Okay. Currently I have a great club, and I'm able to wield simple and martial weapons. I would like a two-handed one if possible.
You have a what size club?
Great club.
A great
That's
club.
what I currently have.
Well, he looks at you with a glare, but obviously because you're with James, he's then like, oh, I guess obviously when you've got yourself a guard, you must make him stronger, right? I have.
Yeah, well, that's why I sort of spoke to the guy first and said, and almost like addressed the orc, so he knew he was with me.
And
You won't get conned this way, son.
Daddy?
Oh, okay. So yeah, he reaches out and like grabs one of these massive clubs from like one of the walls, and you can see him like struggle
Roll a
with it
strength
himself.
check.
No, it's fine. Just for the sake of it being in a shop, he brings it to you, and it's a pretty simple club. It's like kind of mainly made out of like ornate carved wood and everything, but it is giant. It's a giant club, and he says, "Yes, this is our giant club. It's
Quite
very
tall.
heavy, and obviously you can crash many skulls with this." And yeah, he suggests that it's 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
I suggest that it's cheap.
Ask if it's better damage than yours.
Yes, I would like to investigate the club.
Okay. What damage does yours deal?
Ooh.
It's got +6 attack and it does 1d8 +4 bludgeoning.
Well, from looking at it, you notice that it does 2d10 damage.
Cool.
Yeah. But he also has another one that you can see on the back of the wall, and it's a spiked great club, which does 1d10 bludgeoning damage, but it also does piercing. And you see like the little thing underneath that says it's 8 silver pieces.
Decisions.
It's like going shopping.
Well, I ask Sirloin and see what he recommends out of the two.
As I need you well equipped, I suggest you take the higher damage one, and I'll pay the money.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
So what one are you going for?
I will go for the first one, the high damage.
The giant hammer, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you place the money on the table, and he essentially just lets you like lift up the club.
How much money?
It's 30 gold.
Okay.
And yeah, you can feel it's very heavy, like heavier than the one that you just had.
Can you wield it without a disadvantage?
What is your strength actually?
+4.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Oh wait.
So it's just like a meteor axe. Club.
Yeah.
Can I have some stats on my
I have a
chainsaw in a bit?
+2 proficiency bonus, so it says +6 strength in the other box.
Oh, okay. It's an oversized weapon, which means that you get disadvantage when rolling attack with it.
Oh, okay.
Just because your strength is lower than 20. So yeah. Later on, it will be easier to wield, but right now it's quite the hefty.
Yeah. So you got an option to use it. If you're in like a tight situation and you use it, you have to have disadvantage for now.
Yeah, I still got my crossbow, so.
Yeah. All right then. There you go. So you're like grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah.
Max. Can I have some stats on that chainsword, like my attack bonus and damage type and damage roll?
Of course. Let me have a look. So the chainsword, it does 2d6 slashing damage.
Hang on. Need to get so 2d6 slashing damage. Is that plus anything?
Nope. That
Okay.
would be plus your.
Strength.
Wait. What's the damage on your sword now?
The great sword is 2d6 plus 4, and plus 4 is the same as my strength, which is plus 4. So maybe
Then
that's
yes,
what.
because it's a strength-based weapon too.
Okay, cool. And that's slashing, yeah.
Mhm.
For a one-handed weapon, it does the same as my great sword. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's because it's fucking chainsword.
Yeah.
You can all. It comes with 10 spikes as ammunition.
Okay. So that's when
But it's also a light weapon. I'm not sure if you're proficient with light weapons, are you?
weapon simple and martial.
It would be probably be a martial weapon actually. Now that I think about it. So, oh wait, it doesn't matter which one because you've got proficiency in both. So yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, yeah, that's the stats for the sword.
And the attack bonus.
Will be the same. It will just be your strength bonus.
Oh, how come I've got plus 6 and maybe that is a plus? I don't understand it then, because my great sword has plus 6 in the attack bonus.
1 second. Great sword. No, not curved great sword. Wait, plus 6. Does it not give you any sort of other? You were Shiram. So you'd get a +2 for your strength, and then your +2 for proficiency, I would assume. Because where's your proficiency bonus?
It says 2.
So yeah, that's the mixture. So you get a +6 actually.
Okay, so yeah, my great sword is correct then, because that says plus 6.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm sorted then. If anyone else wants to do their shit.
I just realised it was all the same stats for the great sword.
Yeah, but this is, one-handed.
Yeah.
Fucking result.
And it also doubles as a ranged weapon.
And you said I had 10 spikes for that.
Yes.
Can I see if he's got any more I can purchase? 10's a bit low.
Yeah, you see them in like a box, kind of like to the side underneath the other chainsaw.
All right, I inquire how much like another 10 spikes would cost.
He says it will cost. God damn it!
Does the range attack do the same damage as the regular?
1 second. I guess it would be like 1d6 of piercing damage.
Okay. 1d6. And the range, last thing?
God, I have to make this up all on the fly because this fucking people don't ever write anything properly. Oh wait. So weaponized chainsaw featuring a motorized belt and a diamond hard tooth. It requires an energy cell to function. Oh, it's because it's steam. It doesn't really matter. I guess the range would probably be the same as like a light crossbow.
Okay.
So do you have a light crossbow, or does anybody have a light crossbow that I can reference?
Oh, actually, I do. What do you need? It's
Just
attack
its range.
plus. Oh no, you never gave me any details of range.
Does it not say?
No, you didn't for the other things. We determined that. Oh, what was
Fuck's sake.
great bow? Great crossbow was like 400 feet, and it's something like 60 feet, wasn't it? The first video.
That was a heavy crossbow. And it was like 100 and something feet.
I thought it was double that for the heavy crossbow. But yeah, surely you could. At
So
least...
my chainsaw would hit about 80 feet then, surely, or something like that.
Yeah, I'd say about that. 60 to 80 probably sounds about right.
What's this?
Did you say the light crossbow?
Yeah,
Range is 80 to 320.
there you go.
Fucking hell.
So 320 sounds a bit high for a chainsword, though. So I just ride that anyway.
Yeah, you probably will only be using it
Sword,
within a
right?
minimum range anyway. So,
It's a weird sort of a contraption, Dale.
well, it's all steamwork. It's all like steampunk stuff.
In which case, yeah, take the lowest value then.
So I
Yeah,
guess
I would say 80's plenty.
put
Yeah.
5
would be
to
plenty.
80 because that's the range of like melee to
Okay.
like as far as you're gonna need it to go.
Alright, I'll sort all this out.
Yeah, this is all homebrew shit that people are really rubbish at writing. So
I bought 10 more spikes as well. How much that cost me?
6,000 gold.
no, it's like probably like 2 gold for each.
Okay,
So yeah, that would be
20 gold.
Yeah.
Wait, is it 2 gold?
Yeah, if you're buying
20 gold. 20
yeah.
gold. Cool, I'm sorted. I thank him for his
He like
For giving
looks
me all
at the
that shit?
gold in the pouch and goes, "Thank you for your service, sir. Good hunting."
I nod and walk out.
Hey Dale,
Yes.
do you want a girdle of sex?
Well, many things have passed through my mind during this conversation. I was thinking, well, I wouldn't know if JJ's found out any more information, and I wonder if I can roll about finding out what's in the Serena's family estate.
Sure.
Whether information or cheeky wenches, either or.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just asking for information there with my investigation +2. What are the people on the street?
There you go. Oh, don't you know that's one of the highest named families here? They're the Dragonborns that run most of the city.
Finally, someone's got to know something about this damn crater. I approached the estate.
Okay. You come to like a really ornate sort of like brickwork and stone path gate sort of thing. And when you look inside, you can see it has like a front garden that has like nicely trimmed hedges and everything looks like really sort of scenic and, you know, ornate. But there's no way of opening the gate from this side.
Do I see any guards, or shall I roll for perception of the area?
From what you can see now, you can't really see any guards. There's not like you see like people walking past the windows, and it's tend to be like butlers and things, but that's about it.
I'm just checking my stats. How does religion apply in these circumstances?
If you want to know anything about the gods that surround this world, or anything sort of like along those lines, like ritualistic things.
Kalima.
Through the window, you see someone having their heart removed from their chest.
Can I just knock on the gate? Hello, Jehovah's Witness here, +4 roll. To convince me to come in.
Jorvis Witness.
Jorvis, I'm a witness of Jorvis. I'm Jorvis.
You go to knock on the gate, but obviously your hand falls through the bits between the bars.
I'm not that fucking thick. I would knock on the bar, wouldn't I?
No, you aren't that thick.
Well, considering you're knocking on a gate for start,
Well, you know, knock the gate. You can knock a gate.
it's not a wooden gate. It's like a metal sort of ornately, you know, twisted and twined sort of thing. You know,
Keep
like
out your hand.
like a manor house sort of gate. It's not like a
Okay, well, I rattle the gate and go, hello, is there anyone there?
You get someone looking out the window, kind of hearing the ruckus of,
Trick gate.
"Hello, is anybody there?" And they kind of glare at you and
I
walk.
tried to knock, but I fell through the gate.
And you see someone like walk out walk out the front door, and
Help, I've fallen, but I can't get up.
Oh, Rory, did you write down all the stats for your new weapon and add it to your sheet?
Yeah.
Cool.
so yeah,
Fingers crossed for sexy maid that helps me.
it's an old man.
Oh, shit.
Alfred! You know, Batman!
And he walks up to the gate and goes, "Excuse me, sir. What are you doing here?"
I heard that the Serena family estate is full of knowledgeable and intelligent people that may tell me about the crater nearby.
Well, the ladies of the house aren't meeting anybody today. Have you booked an appointment?
Right, let's go for this then. My persuasion stats so shit. I persuade him that I do have an appointment,
Okay.
but I have lost my papers. Can I roll?
Rolls a 1, hits head on gate.
Fuck's sake.
Sir, if you were to have contacted the mistresses, it would have been through phone, and if you had any paperwork, I would have had to have seen it now.
They have phones.
Oh, yes, Victorian times.
Phones were just becoming the new thing.
It's only that the rich would really be a fan.
You've
Very
got a
true.
chainsaw sword that runs on Steam.
Oh, steampunk.
True.
I am a paladin. I have no idea how this
Right,
works. I
I'm
just
using my religion
sure
bonus.
they can hurt people.
You're using your religion bonus.
I've come to spread the faith of Jovis.
Okay, do a mixture of first a religion check and then do a persuasion.
So +4 for my religion and then -1 for my persuasion.
Not
Why do your
not
religion
all-
intimidate so the god will smite you if you don't let me in?
do it one after the other as
That's
opposed to all
Alright.
at the same time.
One after the other.
So
Religion first, then.
that'd be
Okay.
in my religion,
Nice.
and then
A 1.
-1 being my persuasion.
Or intimidate, your choice.
Fucking GG! I'm so not believable as a religion.
You spout off a lot of like religious nonsense that he knows is true, like is factually, you know, sort of sound.
He
Like-
believes.
Well, like
God better be in and all that. Disclaimer: I'm not a god basher or anything.
so yeah, like the stuff you're saying like would have been true. Like obviously you know your facts about like the religion that's around this world, which is essentially just the different types of gods and goddesses that protect the world. But because you're trying to make him believe that you're part of the faith and that you're here to spread the good word to them and whatever, yeah, he just doesn't believe you. He just thinks you're a crazy guy who went to church a few times.
That seems like a fair balance of that role.
So yeah, what do you do? He's just like,
Wow.
Sir, just get off the property before I have to call the guards.
I roll perception for an inn. Which I take
Failed it.
when in doubt, look for an inn.
Haven't you got really high athletics?
How's that going to help me find a pub?
Jump over the fence!
Oh, true.
Too
Yeah,
late
but I'm
now.
a law-abiding
That'd be
person,
acrobatics, surely.
so, like,
Yeah, that would be acrobatics.
yeah, I'm law-abiding. I want to break into a place. Just
Athletics, run really fast round in a circle so he gets dizzy and falls over.
So yeah, you don't even remember where like the pub you were before. Like you don't know where that is. Like you're pretty much just lost in this new upper part. It's all big. It's all loud. You don't know what you're doing.
Where am I?
Jarvis, away! And yeah, the butler goes back inside, and it's just like fucking drunks.
I go talk to the librarian.
Okay, the librarian just sits in. It's like, hello,
Have you got any books on pickpocketing?
hello.
Hello?
But no,
Daniel's a librarian, fuck!
You told me to get a job.
After we took off his penis, he had to do something.
well, not after having his neck cut, no.
He recovered.
So yeah,
He
what
rolled
do you
a
ask?
20 in that first day. Have they got any books on pickpocketing or the art of pickpocketing?
She looks at you kind of concerned as to why you'd be asking for that sort
It's
of...
a hobby.
And she goes, I'm not sure, but there are books on the art of stealth if you want to read those.
Correct. And
And
sleight of hand.
she like points into the direction of like the section of books that's in kind of like a darker corner of the room. And you
Okay.
see like the other half of this darker corner is all like covered in white stains.
What?
It's milk, I swear.
But yeah, no, you find like books on like for some reason they're weirdly like written. Some of them are like you read them back to front, with like weird cartoonish characters.
Ah, fucking weeb stuff.
Right to left, yeah.
And yeah,
For some reason, there's long tentacle arms on every other page.
and some of them are like the art of stealth, or you know, rules of war and things. Which one do you grab then? Because obviously, like,
What, listen again?
oh no, just like what particular sort of book are you looking for? Like just ones about stealth and
Yeah,
no
like
sleight of hand.
mastering stealth.
Yeah,
and
you
sleight-
you find
yeah.
one like the art of stealth kind of goes through the different sort of description of like hiding when it's dark and using kind of darker clothing so that you blend in with the night, and so on.
Yeah.
And then there's other books that kind of describe magic tricks of sleight of hand and you know,
Yes.
the illusionary skill of having the like dexterity to make people believe that you're doing something astounding.
Okay, I study those books.
Okay, are you trying to like
Yeah.
level up?
Sleight of... Maybe.
It doesn't.
What's
work.
it to you?
It's not gonna work.
Why not?
It's not how it works.
Heckle bullshit.
You might learn a new technique though, rather than leveling up. Just throwing it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you pass your time reading those sort of like books. What's everybody else doing?
I'm really getting into D&D actually.
I
JJ?
put back my copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
Reading for the last.
I was banking on you looking for more information.
Oi.
You look over and there's Van in the same sort of dark corner, and you've added another white stain to the floor. What do you do then after putting your book of 50 Shades of Grey down?
Oh, by the looks of things, he's just summoned a friend.
And an
No.
unborn friend, yes.
Oh no, Dark Souls.
Multiple
Oh.
friend.
Is that not how you summon a friend in Dark Souls?
What,
Yeah, you
leaving
cut
white
someone's
stain?
white smudge and then he comes out of the ground.
I'm gonna go see if I can find where these guys have got to, because I've only just realised that while Fan's here, everyone else has buggered off.
Yeah, you're noticing it is rather quiet, apart from obviously where Van's just kind of screaming and ranting and raving to himself. Why can't I level up reading these books?
Patience.
So yeah,
Yes, I'm just gonna set up and see what
JJ puts his nose in the air and smells Jovis in the distance.
my perception isn't that good.
Wait for it. Just kicking.
I was hoping to see some sexy dragon ladies.
So, how crowded are the streets up at this part? Would I be able to see Jovis easily, or would he sort of be lost among the mass?
There is some hustle and bustle, but you catch a glimpse of like at waist height golden hair.
Oh, Jovis, buddy! How are you
Oh,
doing?
Benton. I tried to find out what was behind these gates, but apparently it's just some old butlers.
Where? Show me where. I'll give it a go. I don't know
It's
why I've
over
got your
here.
accent now. Fucking weird.
It's like reading.
I think
It
everybody else seems to grab my accent whenever I use it.
Dude,
I've been trying for the half-stone kind of dwarf accent every other time I read.
an XR.
Jorvis.
Welcome, come gather by the fire.
Come gather by the fire.
Right. So I head towards with Jovis to the estate this time.
Okay, once again, you walk up to the estate and it's
Oh,
rather quiet.
I pre-warn him. Don't knock on the gate. He might fall through it. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
I would like to call out and if there's anyone there.
Okay. I guess you call out, and nothing really, like, no one in the house, like, kind of gets any sort of attention from it.
Can I call out? They listened to me last time.
I think it was probably because you were shouting and rattling the gate.
Alright.
I shout around the gate again.
Uh,
Hello!
Can,
My friend wants to talk to you!
JJ,
Yeah?
do you mind making a perception check for me?
Oh, I'd love to make a perception check.
Oi, Alfred! Come back!
Yes, I am doing perception check.
So as
Nice!
He saw through the building.
you notice in one of the upper windows there is like a dragonborn woman who's wearing kind of like very ornate clothing, very different from all the like all the servants walking around the house. But you also look to your left and see on the side of the like stone wall a little button with bell written above it.
I would like to hit the bow button. Shit, never thought about.
You press the button and you hear a ding, and like it's obviously like distant and within inside the house, and one of the like maids comes along and opens up the front door and walks outside and comes up to you. It's just like, hello.
Hello. Yes. I'm now gonna not persuade. I will cast illusion to make it look like I have a piece of paper saying I have an appointment.
Okay. She like, just to kind of describe what she looks like. She's like a young sort of green-skinned like half orc girl. Just so that like she has like short braided hair.
I compliment on how lovely she looks.
Get an advantage on your persuasion with your like, you know.
So, hello, madam. You're looking very lovely today. But I have currently an appointment for myself and my friend to see the ladies of the household.
Oh, of course. Can I see those papers?
Yes, I would now like to cast illusion inside my pocket to make it look like a.
Is that what you actually said to her? That's not gonna float.
Yes, it is, bitch. Because I got papers. Fake paper.
So you're actually going to hand her the papers, or?
No, I'm just hold them in front of her so she can read clearly.
Okay.
Because it's an illusion that if she goes to touch it, her hand will fucking go through the paper.
Okay. So what? You hold it out with your two hands, like when you unravel a scroll, sort of thing.
Yeah. So she doesn't. So she won't go to reach for it. She'll just see. Oh, hopefully.
Okay.
No, Dale. No, I'm trying to get you in with me. Come back.
So you hold it like fairly close and like actually, yeah, roll a persuasion. Because obviously you might not actually know the formatting of the invitations.
Oh, persuasion, you say? I love that modifier.
-12.
Ooh, okay, yeah. You just somehow, you know, from seeing like other types of houses like this, and you know the like invitational method of like how it's written, and you just hold it in front of her just enough so that she doesn't want to reach out to grab it, and reads through it and goes, "Oh, of course, of course. He won't be coming in with you, will he?"
I'm sorry, but he's my house
Butler.
pal.
Butler.
He's my butler.
Jovis is like wiping the dirt off of him, and he's just like,
I say this with the papers I was on about.
It's a different
Also,
one.
be right back. I got a phone call to make.
I think he was talking about in real life.
Either way, it works.
Yeah.
When Aiden,
Hello, this is the butler. I fucking told you.
As he's working on the dirt, I would just like to say to her that I don't care how my butlers appear. As long as they work well, I will hire them.
And she's just like, "Oh, that's very kind of you to accept. Obviously, someone
The scum.
so far out of town." And yeah, she like greets you in as she like clicks the like thing on the side of the gate to get it to open.
Okay.
And she invites you in, giving a little curtsy and pointing towards the door.
Thank you, kind madam.
It's my pleasure, master.
No, please call me Benetton.
Of course, Mr. Benton.
Right, you're in, JJ.
I'm in. Woo!
Can I
Uh,
talk to the librarian again?
Okay.
I guess. Shit, I'm in. But what now?
Once again, this is Jovis's thing, and you constantly get yourself into. This
Wait
situation.
till he comes back then, I suppose.
Okay, so we'll
this
jump
is
over
just
to Van. So
Go to someone else for the moment.
Can I ask the librarian? Can I try something on her quickly?
Oh
she's
god.
just like kind of blushes and like darts her eyes like back and forward. And it's just like, what would you like to try?
Right, so I grab 3 cup-like things from around.
Okay.
I put a coin under one of them.
She has like 3 cups that she has like pencils in, and you kind of empty them onto the table, and she's just like, no.
All neat. I put them neatly in a line, like OCD, like.
Oh, okay.
Fucking it is perfect to the inch.
Oh god,
The inch to the millimeter.
that will be a sleight of hand.
Right. Okay. So, sleight of hand.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is for the pencils, right?
Yeah, this is just for the pencils.
Fuck.
So you throw on the floor.
Not so much that, you just like,
You jab
They're
yourself
in a
with
pile.
pencil.
yeah, you go to like do it, but then you realise like it's not worth your time.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
Right. So, right. Ignore the fact that if you were watching me in real life, I'd be holding my hands weirdly like a magician. Okay. So 3 cups,
Yeah.
1 coin.
Mhm.
Find the coin. So I model around. Yeah.
Yep.
I roll sleight of hand to make the coin disappear. Like so, even if she picked it,
Yeah.
she wouldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I roll that.
Okay. So with a 13, it's not guaranteed. So roll your 1 to 3. Okay, and I'll roll mine. She points at cup number 2, and you show it. It's not there. And she's like, "Oh wow."
Right. I now tell her the library's now mine.
Hey, but she's
Oh,
quite
not this
intelligent.
again.
She's quite intelligent. She probably won't fall for that. Or say,
Okay.
no, you need to say beforehand.
I persuaded that I said it beforehand, and
Okay.
that she agreed.
Roll persuasion.
Because I can understand the bar person being like, yeah, oh, fuck's sake.
Uh-oh.
She goes, "No, you didn't. You just asked me to see a trick."
It was the trick.
Yes, but you didn't say that you were going to have any sort of deed, and even if you did, I don't actually own this place.
Who does? I've got to show them a trick.
It's to the city, sir. You can't own it. This is a public library.
Challenge accepted. Where's the mayor?
He's going to own this entire city by the end of this thing.
That would be the Serena's family house estate that you would need to go discuss this with.
Oh,
Wait, James in the place that fucking owns this city? I love it.
Could I at least have a book to keep of my choosing?
Of course. It's a public library, sir. You're allowed to rent or even keep some of the books here. Why? What
For
sort of
free,
book-
yeah?
Because you won your little game, yes, of course.
Woo!
What book would you like?
Oh my
I saw your friend was very interested in that 50 Shades of Grey. I love that
no.
book.
I love that was distance as well. Just like, get it.
Shout it from the house. So, yeah.
Which book could I level up from?
Initiate to Bray, improve stamina.
If
And
you
sleight of hand.
if you get to choose between one of those two books, but you have to spend 24 hours reading it, plus probably like 10 gold to level one of those stats up, depending on the book.
Why 10 gold?
Because you're putting money into like training yourself the skill.
Okay. I do that with the sleight of hand one.
Okay, so you take the sleight of hand book for free. And
Wait, how much gold has Ashley got? Because he lost 50 from.
I've got
Dale.
30 on me. Oh, what? When did Dale take 50? I thought that was a joke.
When
No,
No,
He actually did that.
Yeah.
he legit did it.
Oh, then I've got 2 gold left. Well, shit.
Don't worry, you don't have to do it now. You just have to spend 24 hours practicing and then 10 gold to like buy the tools to improve your skill.
Okay.
Okay.
I take the sleight of hand one.
Mhm.
And I bid the librarian good day. And I put all the stuff back in the cups.
I was about to
how
say,
they originally were.
as you start walking away, I was going to say she started like, trying to tidy up the table again. And then you see her like grab like a rubber and starts like doing the same sort of movements with her hands, trying to practice it herself.
Aww.
She will own the city one day. Don't come back, she owns like 3 pub chains. I'm fucking impressed, not oppressed.
But yeah, so what does everybody else want to do then?
I'm gonna try and meet up with the others.
Okay.
I will
I
follow.
look on my map and notice that I recognise the name of the family estate because Dragonborn and Dragonborn people.
Yeah.
And I start making my way over there.
Okay, you start making your way over to the Sabrina family estate.
I see Jovis outside.
Well,
No.
we're inside now.
Yeah, but Jovis's picture's still outside.
Yeah, but he's inside because he wasn't here to move it.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, did he say
No.
that he was going in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that
it
was
JD's
his plus one.
Ah, okay.
He's my scruffy butler.
We call him a scruffler.
I just wander around the city.
Okay. So what do you want to do when you're there, James?
I'm gonna ring the bell. Right, let's see if I notice the bell first. I'll do a perception.
Please fail, please fail.
1. You walk into the spiked wall. Ow.
No one
You're
even
dead.
what a spiked wall.
Oh,
Yeah, you notice the bell. It's not very hard to see, especially when you're at normal height.
I just go bonk.
Ding, ding. And yeah, the older man from earlier comes outside and says, "Hello."
I of House Berber would like to enter the estate.
Do you want to change that name? Because obviously you can't pronounce it.
What is it? Just tell me again, and I'll write down how I'll write it phonetically.
Berbara.
Berbara.
Yeah. So just put like a weird little like dash between BE and then Bara.
Yeah, I put Berbara. Berbara. Okay.
Okay. So
I from House Berbara would like access to the estate with my friend. Here. Yeah.
have you arranged a visit with the mistress of the house?
Go back to your mistress now and say that I, from House Berbara, would like access.
Of course, sir. Of course. I would always trust a paladin. And then, like, walks off and then goes to try and find the mistress of the house to discuss it with her. Obviously, this is where we would jump back to Benetton and Jovis's like adventures through the house. Obviously, Mr. Jovis isn't there. Shit.
I guess it's Ashley then, who's wandering around the town.
Well, do you want to? Well, I guess we could take a little break if your food's ready, or
Mine? I've already eaten it.
Oh shit, that was fast.
It's been like an hour since the food. It would have been burnt by now.
I don't
It's
know,
only fish
slow-
fingers.
I only did like easy
You
stuff.
don't.
Okay.
I couldn't be asked to cook much.
So yeah, okay. The butler comes back
Back to the
after like a
office.
little bit of time. It's been like maybe 5 minutes that he's been away, and then comes back and opens the gate and like bows to you and says, "Of course, sir. Welcome in. Welcome."
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rory, you're with me. Don't get shut out.
The gates close just before he gets in.
No.
No, but yeah. So yeah, when you walk up to the front door, you realise it's like a really thick oak wood sort of thing, and it's all ornately carved, and a similar sort of decor kind of is the same throughout the house. There's like little tables through the hallway with like flowers of all different colour, which is really special to see, like from like how the world is.
All the acid rain is basically making everything go fuck shit up around here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's loads of family paintings of like different dragonborns who like all vary in age. Like some are more young and have like the name underneath, like young master, blah blah blah, and mistress, so on. And yeah, you make your way through the house. What are you specifically looking for? Are you looking for the mistress herself, or?
Yes.
Okay. The butler ends up like directing you through the house and shows you the way to the mistress's sort of like study, and she's sitting there behind a like a big sort of mahogany desk. What do you do when she sees you, kind of like just peering through her book?
I, for the first time, take off my helmet
Mm-hmm.
and put it on the pass it over to Rory's character, and I sit down in front of her in the desk, the opposite side of her desk.
She looks up from her book and looks at you after hearing the like crunching and clanging of your like armor, and goes,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you must be the Barbara boy. Welcome to my abode."
Yes. Yes. I heard you were the one to talk to if you want to get anything civilized done in this damn city.
Oh, of course, the peasants here, even just the higher up humans, are not even worth my time.
Yes, I imagine that would be the case.
Why?
You.
What sort of business were you interested in pursuing?
Well, I'm here on work, but I don't want any commoner work. So I've come to you.
Oh, well, really, I only hire butlers. I don't exactly hire common militia, as they would call it. I don't need any guards. I'm well secure here.
Well, surely there must be something that concerns the city? Like some sort of bandits or crime activity that needs working?
She like raises both arms and kind of like looks around to her like big house, and then points to like outside, like where you can see the giant stone wall. And she's just like, "We're well protected here, as you can see. We don't suffer any banditry. The guards take care of any ruffians and scoundrels that crawl about the town. If you wanted to do some real, honest work that would help provide us with useful information, you could always go to the museum. They're always looking for artifacts to help us progress our knowledge on our world." And she like points to the book, and it's like a historian sort of reading and writing of like ancient civilizations.
Okay. One moment.
Mhm.
Just writing something down.
Is it to Rory?
No.
Takes helmet and runs away.
Steal everything! Steal everything! Okay. I talked to her about the crater and tell her everything that I currently know and see where the conversation goes.
Yeah. She kind of looks at you inquisitively and kind of starts off with, and what is your interest in the crater, might I ask?
Not much, but the people I'm traveling with seem to be quite intrigued by it, so I
Well-
figured it'd be worth communicating with the only sensible person in this downtown.
Well, they are rightly so to be curious about such quite the landmark, I should say. It's one of the main things that our little country is known for, and this city even more so since it's so close to it. It's curious because obviously no one has really explored it very well. But if you were to ask the library, they would definitely, not the library, sorry, the museum, they would ask you to most likely find artifacts near enough to the crater itself.
I am back.
Since the area so close to it is so dangerous, it's always good to.
Why is everyone gone quiet?
Have you muted us all?
It's good for them to hire strong, brave people to try and
Wait a minute.
find any sort of artifacts.
Okay, well, I'll let my party know about that later. Meanwhile, I'll sort of just look to the right as something to talk about and notice that she has a bookshelf of interesting books and just start striking up conversations. So other people can have their turn while I'm just chatting shit with this dragon person.
Yeah, she starts off with like, "Oh yes, this is one of my favorites. It's quite the read.
Blah 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 blah.
50 Shades Darker."
So Dale, JJ, you can do your thing.
Yeah, so play along. You're my scruffy butler.
Hello, Sir Benetton.
So yeah,
What can I
when the maid brings you into the house, once again you notice the like ornately carved wood walls and everything, like and how like there's pictures of masters and mistresses. But she takes you into like a sitting lounge, kind of for people who wait for their booked meeting with the mistress. And you sit down on these like really ornately carved what are they called? Like sofas? I don't know.
Yeah, lounge chairs.
Lounge chairs, I guess that would be the term.
Okay, if you could
Futon.
say to your mistress that I would like. When would your mistress be available?
That's a good question, actually. Since this was such a new visit to me.
I'm sorry about the.
No, it must be my fault. I must have not marked it down.
That's okay.
But yeah, she looks to like. There's a massive sort of like chalkboard with like what's it called, like calligraphy sort of writing written on it for all the times. And yeah, it says the next opening's within like 20 minutes.
I guess we'll wait here for that moment.
Of course. And would there be any beverages that you would like to have?
Would it be possible for a cup of tea, please?
Of course. I will be right back. And then she walks off and goes over.
Just
to
out
the
of
kitchen.
curiosity, is she currently talking to me? Is that why it's going to take 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Whoops. I skipped my turn. Da, 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 da.
They went the long way round.
Apparently.
Well, they got taken straight to like the sitting
Yeah,
room,
you've got
but you
you and your white privilege.
your dragonborn
Jack
privilege.
privilege.
I was born with this privilege. I was dragonborn with this privilege.
Dovahkiin.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. But yeah.
Oh, that museum that was mentioned, is that in this place or is it somewhere else in the city?
Yeah, it's kind of like by what is it? Yeah, it's by like Earl's Palace sort of thing. That's kind of like Earl's Palace Museum.
Hang on. I saw that on the map earlier.
It's here.
I have.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So at some point I will bugger off over there. But, yep.
So yeah, the woman comes back with your tea, and it takes her like maybe a few minutes so that like all the water's boiled and everything, and then brings back the tray with a few little like really intricately designed like teacups and a teapot, and pours you a cup. She pours hot water and then puts like the tea leaves in it, and that's it. And then has like to the side like a little thing of milk and cream.
I was
And
about to say,
sugar.
you said there's a bowl of ingredients on the side.
Yeah. All the like ingredients are separated out so that you can introduce them at your like leisure.
And you naturally eat them all separately.
All I
And it
do-
feel really bad that you didn't make it into a sandwich.
Well,
I-
you notice that her like little sort of badge thing says Daniela. Oh, sorry, Danielle. There we go. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Danielle.
Okay, and then I add a milk and take a sip and compliment on the taste.
Okay. She's just like
Oh, you schmoozer, you.
she.
Shut up. You speak unless you're spoken to, bitch.
I mean, I whisper, you smooth.
Cunt.
She
Where's my
curtsies
whiskey?
and then walks back off and goes to check on the like how the conversation is going between Sirloin and Serena.
Okay, while she's gone,
Mhm.
I take my little phial of brandy out and pour some into a cup of tea for Jovis.
Oh, that's so nice.
Brandy, I guess it'll have to do.
Fine, man.
You like shout it into the house like Brandy. This will have to do.
Maybe we should roll to see if he was quiet about that.
Nah, it's fine. But
I purposely nod.
yeah, and yeah.
That's for whiskey, like 2 turns.
Sirloin, you hear a rap, like a little rapping at the door. It's like, but no, she like knocks on the door lightly and opens it and asks, there are 2 gentlemen down in the reception waiting for you, Serena. Mistress Serena, obviously. And she's just like, okay, we're almost finished here, isn't that right, Sirloin?
Yes. Yes. It's so great meeting you, but I must
Of
go
course.
for
It's always
business.
lovely to see another Dragonborn. It gets awfully boring just talking to these mere.
I imagine
mortals.
so. Filth in this place.
Mm.
And then I pick up my helmet and walk out.
Yeah. She waves you goodbye with like a.
Roy, how much did you steal?
Yes, before I leave the area, I'd like to investigate.
Okay, roll an investigation.
I guess while we're talking would be.
You'd probably
That's
be
what
rocking backwards and forwards, not really like paying attention. Just be like. Yeah, if you want to roll an investigation. Sure. What specifically are you looking for? Like,
Anything of value that is easy to sneak out.
oh my God, who's got tape?
Not
Hmm?
me.
It's like someone's taping something. Yeah. You see around the room there are loads of things that would obviously be valuable. Nothing that you can like slip into your pocket, like from what you can see at first. But then you kind of see like on one of the shelves, there's like a little what's it? I want to say like a Fabergé egg, but it's like metal.
Okay.
So it's like a metal ornate dragon egg.
Yeah.
What about a Cadbury's cream egg?
Oh, that's right next to it, all wrapped in its tinfoil.
Can I roll to see if I can steal that?
You're not in the room yet, buddy.
Bitch.
I thought JJ just offered me a tea with brandy.
Yeah,
wait
but you're in the waiting room.
Butler.
Man, he's already
Oh,
drunk.
Oh, we're in a separate room than those two are. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not in our room just yet.
We're waiting for we're in the waiting room of the dentist office, essentially. We're in the
I've
fucking.
just seen
Yeah,
through the gap that there's a shiny cream egg.
Well, you see in front of you, there's like magazines and things,
Magazines.
like newspapers and things.
Victorian News Weekly, yeah?
Victorian Times, Victorian Sun.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Vectorian.
Oh.
King
Tales of
King Vector.
well,
Yeah.
Upper Brighton News.
Upper Brighton.
because they don't write about Lower Brighton. Who cares about those films?
Well,
The
Yeah,
yeah.
can't even
segregation
name
is
their
real
bridge
in this
well.
world.
Green Bridge. It was even pink. They named it Green Bridge. What plebs?
But yeah, so when you like walk down the stairs and get leaded back out, and you're like standing outside the front gate, you
Do they notice us at all?
no, it's where he went left to go up to the stairs. You went right.
Okay, so yeah.
Wait, Roy, did you nick the egg?
Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, no, sleight of hand to see if you actually stole it.
Okay.
This is how they got beaten. 10.
I didn't even notice him steal it. Great.
Does that mean he's so good he steals the cream egg as well?
So, where there was multiple,
They look back and the house is gone.
it does that scene from Poltergeist where it all just sucks into the ground.
But no one notices.
But yeah, with that sort of score, like where you where it was multiple Fabergé eggs on like a little sort of platter thing that went up and up and up sort of thing, you are able to grab like 4. Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun
Hands off the
that
egg.
if Dale and JJ go in there and take the blame for this.
Metagaming.
So yeah, when you guys walk out, you just see like Eldon holding like 4 Fabergé eggs in his hand.
What's so plain sight?
Well, no, because you're like outside of the building. Like no one's gonna be like, "Oh, you stole those from that house, didn't you?" Sort of thing.
And then we go, give me one fucker.
So we've been escorted right out of the grounds, yeah?
Yeah. You're like
Okay.
outside the gate and everything.
Roy, do you tell me that you just did it, or you're probably gonna want to keep that to yourself?
yeah.
That's okay. That's
I'll
what
use
being called a slave.
I'll do a perception check, see if I can see if there's a antique store nearby.
Okay. Well, considering when you walk out, you're right next door to Trader's Burrow.
Oh.
I wouldn't sell it in this town.
That's actually a
Because
good-
surely they fucking know.
Well, it's not even just that. It would
Families'
probably
eggs,
be
aren't
it would probably be that they're less valued here.
You want black market?
Oh, because of course it's slums here, so you wanted to do it somewhere posh.
We're not in the slums.
Racist
No,
market.
this is posh. Like
I
posh
want to do it
people.
in the slums. Go to the slums and sell it.
And we have a
Black
rainbow
market.
market.
Go there.
Rainbow market.
Sell it in the
Where every
cemetery.
colour is equal.
Go to the
Black is
cemetery.
technically every colour rolled into one.
Except from
Um,
rainbows, they have black in it. as well.
actually, instead I'll investigate them, see if I can find any more information about them.
Sure.
You just stole this poor person's babies.
living eggs. Yeah, from like inspecting them and your like time in all the different sort of like walks of life that you've been through, you realise that these like Fabergé eggs, the metal that they're made from is extremely valuable, and each is at least 100 gold.
Okay.
Bloody hell, Rory.
Damn.
To the bank.
Says Mr. 10,000 in the bank.
Mm-mm.
It's not even his.
There's 9,000 in the bank. I've got 780 on me at the moment.
Don't you mean in this bank?
Yeah. What family is James from?
The Barbara family.
A really rich one.
We used to be like fucking 12th cousin to the Queen.
Well, the
12.
Queen is actually a dragonborn.
12.
Oh shit.
And so is King what was it? King Victor.
Aries.
No, it's King Victor.
Oh, of course, because the Victorian. Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you guys do then?
I wait for my fucking meeting.
I go back to the library
Okay.
and talk to the librarian, and I use insight to find out her current mind. Is that how insight works? Current, like.
Yeah, it
Students.
kind of like senses motive and
Okay. I do that.
okay.
Give me a second.
Give me a score.
Plus 4.
Drum roll, please. You don't know what she's thinking.
Shit.
She's quite reserved, a bit shy, a bit nervous. Obviously, that's why she like works in a library where everybody has to be quiet and sort of thing. It's about as much information you get. Do you want to carry on anything, or do you want me to jump over to Benetton and Jorvis?
I ask her out.
Oh.
Okay.
She goes, "Oh my, I can't exactly leave work right now."
Not now. Later.
That doesn't sound like a no.
And she like kind of like blushes and like fans herself a little, and like tries to like
Fucking
neaten her
gay.
uniform, neaten her like uniform, and like kind of
Oh lordy,
fiddles
I
with her hair.
believe I have the papers.
Lordy Lord.
Fuck's sake.
But yeah, she just kind of like says, "So where would you like to meet? I'll be here quite late."
Do you know any nice restaurants nearby?
She like laughs and she goes, "Well, there is the Silver Fox Inn."
Let's go there for dinner.
Just saying.
Just me and you.
She says, "Okay, I'll meet you at 8. Is that okay?"
Deal.
Okay,
Ah, you're half hour late.
half an hour late.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
8:30.
That's not fair.
In the future. So yeah, after that like cute scene, I guess,
No.
we jump over to Benetton and Jovis, and the maid finally comes back and, you know, says, "The mistress will see you now."
Okay.
And starts to escort you up the stairs and into her study. And there she is.
Kinky.
She's like a silver dragonborn with like you know, has like a nice fine dress.
Is she sitting behind the desk at all?
Yeah, she's once again gone back to reading her book, like the historical book from earlier.
Okay, I would like to walk up and get on one knee and kiss her hand very gently.
Oh, kinky.
She like hears you approach and then puts her hand up like with one finger, just stopping you before you reach her. Says, "Not any further. What is your business?"
I'm a traveling. No wait, shit.
Oh, what?
Language.
You're travelling shit.
No. I'm currently investigating the crater and some more about its whereabouts. And I've
Oh,
been
you must be
researching-
friends with Sir Loin, are you?
Yes.
Who?
I'm his steak.
What do you mean, who?
Shut up! I'll see if I can get anything different out of her. Shh.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sir
I'll
Loin.
hang up now.
The paladin, the Barbara boy.
Oh, I don't. I've seen him wandering about. I'd have to get more better acquainted with him if he is also investigating the crater later.
Oh, okay. I just assumed, considering he was discussing how his travelling companions were in search for information on the crater.
I shall definitely have to have a good chat with him at great lengths later. But I've come.
I know Sirloin.
Shut up, Jervis!
I am very close to my mic right now.
I would just like to, as he starts whispering, just to slap him.
Yeah, you slap him, and she's
It's
just
like-
like,
Wait, I roll for athletics, dodge.
Okay.
Rolls a 1, headbutts
It's
the
your
slap,
mic butler.
gets double slapped.
Both of you roll who's got the highest number.
Yeah, it's yours.
yeah, go on, JJ.
What's this for?
Roll a, I guess, athletics check to see if you smack him.
It
Oh,
wasn't his
okay.
speed strength and mine be athletics, or?
Nope.
Both athletics.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah,
Yes.
you go to like swing, but Jovis like nimbly jumps
Ducks and
back,
weaves.
especially considering he was so low to the ground. It was a bit harder to hit him.
Do a barrel roll.
And yeah, as you jump back, you kind of like knock the table, and it like wobbles a bit. And she's just like,
Fortunately, nothing falls off because it would have been stolen, but...
she
Oh
she-
no, the
she lo-
cream egg. I'll save it.
goes to take a like bite out of the metal fucking egg. But yeah, she's just like,
Breaks teeth.
what an unruly servant you have there.
Yeah, my housemate brought 12 cream eggs a few days ago. I wonder if he's got any left.
I'm so sorry for him. I should have to punch him severely when we get back.
Of course, I wouldn't want him roaming around thinking he can do whatever he likes.
No, of course not. But I've come here after inquiring at the library and noticing there's a lot of books from the name of. Where's my notes yet? Simon Wright. I'm wondering if you had any information pertaining to this name.
Oh, Simon Wright. Yes, that's the researcher, the head researcher of the museum over in Earl's Palace. He's he runs the what would it be? Archaeology division in the museum to discover artifacts from the crater site.
Okay. Thank you very much for this information.
Oh, it's my pleasure. As you can see, I love anything to do with history and the mysteries of this world.
Do I notice the what was it? The 50 darker shades of grey or something?
50 Shades Darker.
Yeah.
Roll of perception.
Oh my god, I've read the first edition of that.
Yeah, you see it on like the shelf, like in between some of the other books that are a lot more like well educated books, and then you have the 50 Shades Darker.
Okay, I'd like to comment on how wow that book is.
Oh, she instantly flies into a like massive sort of thing about it. Like, yes, it's one of my favorite ones. I definitely enjoy the series.
For the greater cause, for the greater cause.
Greater good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to read
good.
it at night, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, kinky.
Oh. I gently lean over.
Caress
and
her ear.
whisper, you don't know any ways to improve my sexual life, do you?
Oh, really?
I'm straight, son.
If a lizard could blush, she would probably be doing it.
Yes.
But she's just like,
Fuck away.
well, I don't know about you, but I've definitely been experimenting with some sort of things that aren't the norm
Oh
in society.
shit, what's going on?
Which you don't want to know.
I opt out.
Put it this way,
Stabbed me
they're
in the
gonna make
ears.
a half-breed tonight.
Well, considering she's a dragonborn, that's already kind of a thing. But
Ah,
okay.
third breed.
Quarter
It's
breed?
just like a dragon head on top.
Can you roll another perception check?
Certainly. Oh,
Oh. Okay. And yeah, you like slip up misquoting one of the things as you like both fly into a thing, and she's just like, "You're not really a fan of it at all, are you?"
I am.
I've only read it once.
I don't really pay attention to the words.
Just get out. I've told you what you wanted to know.
Can I
Oh,
roll
that's
perception
right.
for anything I can steal before I go?
No, you like one-
Jovis card.
Actually, no, because of that one, she looks over to where Jovis knocked the thing, and there are the missing Fabergé eggs.
I'm so sorry.
She's just
Wasn't even you.
she shouts for the guards, and instantly these two
Blames you.
well-suited sort of like orcs come into the room. What is it, Miss Serena? And she points to Jovis, and she's like, "That rapscallion there has stolen my Fabergé eggs,"
Oh, it's fine. It's just.
and instantly grabs Jovis.
Jovis, you're getting punished for JJ's one.
Yes. Right, I'd like to extremely and very profusely apologise. Which
Make a
involves,
persuasion.
like literally on the floor begging on my knees. I'm so sorry.
Okay, take an advantage.
It wasn't even you, though.
So what's just roll twice and the highest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is funny.
Okay. She looks at you and is just like, as much as I want to stop this from happening, he must be punished for what he's done. And
play.
she lets you off, like
Yeah.
not feeling so like abrasive towards you after like finding out that your servant is like a thief, and they drag him down the stairs and into like one of the rooms.
Oh no.
Dale,
Yes.
do you know what's going on?
I did half listen. Sorry, I've just been made aware that our grades are out for my unit, and I did better than I thought I did. So
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
yeah,
You are being dragged off because you stole their eggs.
Yeah.
Wait, who's being dragged off?
You.
You take 4 damage.
I never stole the egg. I just knocked into it.
Well, that's unfortunate. She thinks you stole them.
I never did roll for whether I stole it.
No, but she thinks you did.
Rory took
In which
him,
case,
he
I
noticed.
ate it. Fuck her.
Roll a persuade.
No, he's just been beaten.
He's gone.
Don't roll with persuade then.
So yeah, Dale, take 4 damage.
Would one do this?
Okay. So yeah, they like pat you down and actually find out that you haven't taken anything, and like kind of like brush you off and then push you out the door. It's just like, don't come back here again, okay?
So I got beat down and didn't get my cream egg. This is a sad situation.
And your face is
Sounds
kind of
like
like
a you problem to me.
your face is
Yeah.
like swollen and like your mouth's bleeding at the like lip. And JJ kind of like walked past, like just obviously to come and collect you.
Come on, Jarvis, let's get going museum. Shit, I forgot to ask where the museum is.
No, she told you, Earl's Palace.
Oh, cool.
The fuck?
Right, Jarvis, we're off to Elves Palace to find the museum.
Wait, if you're just getting up now, I've probably made it almost about halfway there. Roy, get over here. There we go.
So yeah, what do you guys do then?
Starting to
Well,
make
I've already been told to find work at Earl's Palace to see if there's any artifacts to get.
Ooh.
So
Before I get too far from the estate, can I see if she's at one of the windows?
Who?
The old woman,
Old woman.
the dragon woman. Sorry.
Oh right. Yeah, she's like her study is like
She
right
might
out
be-
front, sort of thing. So it looks out, and yeah, you can see her. Why?
Can I blow her a kiss?
She's not looking out the window. She's gone back to reading her book.
make a loud noise, get her attention, and blow her a kiss.
Can I cast illusion to make a giant love heart appear?
You can.
Like right at the window.
Yeah.
Literally on the fucking window.
You can if there's a range to it.
I have 30-foot range, I believe.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you're standing by the gate, then yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally standing with my arm through the fucking gate.
Okay. Roll your magic to see if she noticed.
Okay.
Hit me with your rhythm stick.
So 20 plus spell attack, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So she sees how like there's now a bit of a blocking of the sun from like her window, and she turns around to sees the big love heart, and she just kind of like snorts to it like. Wait, sorry, that sounded really weird because of my block nose. She kind of goes like sort of thing because obviously she's kind of like a yeah.
Oh, derisive snort.
No, it's not like.
Huh.
It's like
Pathetic.
she finds it like amusing that you did it, as opposed to like.
I am not amused.
So
Okay,
yeah,
and I just start walking away with Jovis.
one
Can
frame
I roll
at a
for an
time.
in? The perception of an in
What's the
again?
current timing game?
Well, when you asked her out, it was about 5 o'clock.
Currently?
What time is it now?
So
about
that
6 or
was
so,
probably
right?
like
7?
an hour's worth. So it's about 6 o'clock now.
Okay, I head to the bank because I need to withdraw some cash in order to pay for this fucking thing.
Okay.
That was my perception for a tavern.
You do indeed know where a tavern is. You hear people walking past and saying like, "Oh, we should really go to the Silver Fox Inn."
Oh, fuck off! That's my place.
Oh, it's just across the 2 bridges, and you have to go past the bank, and then you're there.
Yeah.
My time skip place myself there for later.
Okay. So it takes you like 20 minutes to get there.
By that point, JD would have made it, pretty much
Yeah,
on
yeah.
his
It's
way.
like another 20 minutes for him to reach there. So when you like split off.
Before I did do like just that travel, my second wind, I limited wild stamina I can draw on to protect myself. On your turn, you can use a bonus discount for now,
What do you mean?
equal to 1d10 plus my fighter level to like regain health.
Oh, what for your second wind?
Yeah,
Um,
because I should be able to do that multiple times as long as I rest, can't I? So,
yeah. Well, when you're walking, it's not exactly a rest. Rest is like when you're staying put, sort of thing.
no. I was thinking, am I allowed to do that, then go to the pub, eat, sleep, and rest?
Yeah. Like a short rest is like 4 hours.
Then again, wait, do you gain health anyway from rest?
From a short rest, yeah, you roll your hit die.
And then isn't a long rest just like a full refill?
Yeah.
How long is a long rest?
8 hours.
What time did we say it was the day there?
6 o'clock right now.
You know what? Come back to me in a bit, and I'll just sleep and eat it off later.
Okay.
Travel time, so
So
I'll have everyone.
if we're jumping over to, I guess, the team at the museum.
Yeah, so I just say, for whatever reason, we waited for JD to catch up.
Yeah. You probably took some time to like look around. There's like images of like ancestors.
Yeah,
for, like,
I
dragons.
imagine I would usually go quite slowly because I can't be asked to rush, really. But
Yeah.
JD would be like excited to get there.
I'm straight. I want to go back to my honey bunny later.
So I guess we met about there and then just walked in.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'll share the information if we met there before we got to the museum about that we're looking for someone called Simon Wright.
And I mentioned how
Head of archaeology.
any
Simon
artifacts we
was actually
find.
wrong.
I mentioned how any artifact we find at the thing we could probably take here, and that's why I'm inquiring.
Okay.
So yeah, you look around in the entrance of the museum, like it's a massive sort of hall, and then there's some like velvet rope cornering off like this massive skeleton structure of a dragon. And what is it? As like you look over this sort of like piece, it has written on the little plaque in front of it, discovered and assembled by Simon Wright.
Oh, I like this guy. He does bones.
He has a boner.
Yeah, I like giving boners to people, especially women.
So yeah,
You know, womanizer.
what else do you guys do
Uh,
other than just kind of like observe some of the?
I'd like to see if there's any good artifacts, while also trying to find the office of Simon Wright.
Yeah, you look around it. It's kind of like got a few people walking in and out. Obviously, because it's a city that no one really always visits. It's mainly just people who are like enthusiasts of like the old architecture and things like that, and people looking at different sort of artifacts that they had found. And you see how there's like a like different types of swords that are like all worn and withered, some like guns that kind of look like rifles essentially.
Okay.
And you have like pictures of like old sort of buildings, ones that like tower to the sky and are made mainly of like glass, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But roll a, I guess, investigation or like perception to see if you find Simon Wright's room.
Perception or investigation. Which one would you prefer?
Perception would be more like you're just being able to like catch a glance of it or something when you're looking around. Investigation is like you're actively looking for it.
Okay, I'll do investigation then. Shit!
Yeah, you don't really find anything. This part of the building is mainly to do with like all the artifacts that people have found. Like you see on the plaques, there's all different names and things.
I mean, that sounds good.
That's my investigation roll.
Shit.
Okay. After hearing about Simon Wright, you kind of like look into the different like signs that point to like different parts of the museum. You walk through like the war section, and you see like these massive sort of like constructions of metal, like with long barrels and like legs of like sorts. And then like you see like you go through that area and then another one until you reach like the section of like the staff essentially.
Okay.
And then yeah, you see like a door that says Simon Wright written on it.
I point towards the writing and say, "It's over there." And JJ, you can do as that of what you would,
It's over there.
because I can't be asked. I'm just gonna point to where it was and say it's over there.
I want to see if there's any cool artifacts that I could steal later. I mean,
Borrow.
totally not steal.
Regarding me, I look at some of like the more dragon-born related artifacts because I'm not really interested in the others.
Yeah, you see like tapestries and things of like dragons flying over cities, and how they had all the riches in the world at one point, and then kind of gave birth to these half-breeds who then took over when they like passed.
Yep. So I'm just learning history and shit.
Yeah, there's one that really catches your eye because it's so bright and vibrant in color. It's mainly like red and black and like oranges and all that sort of color, and you see this almost like castle-like city out the ground, and dragons fly over it, and it's like a massive sort of like court of flame.
Can I roll perception to see if I recognize this city and what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, what would that be? Would that be history roll?
Yeah, that would be history.
Okay. Thank fuck for that.
Wow. Yeah. You do recognise the city. It's the fabled city of London.
Oh.
What? London?
Yeah.
Hey, London's
What?
The fabled city of London was known for its like vast sort of magical industry that had like grown so much that it eventually was smitten by the gods, and dragons were sent to burn it down.
Oh, of course, I would know this very well because that's like child's stories. When you
Yeah,
grow up, they
essentially,
tell you these
you're told
things.
you're told it because it's one of the primary sort of lessons of never being too boastful about all the like the skill and things that you have that kind of make you a perfect person, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
you
Okay.
smite them down if they ever grow too powerful for their own good, sort of thing.
Okay.
Please don't smite me.
So yeah. What does everybody else want to do then?
Does Ashley want to do anything? Because I don't think he's done anything in a while.
I went to the bank to get money out, and now I'm waiting to 8 o'clock until.
Yeah. You find like a sort of like a park area, and the days start to get like, since it's
Guess
hit
that'd be a
6
short rest or something.
Yeah. It's oh wait, no, unless you're waiting for like 4 hours.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
you've got any
that's-
health missing.
I do.
So do I.
I lost one from being crushed
the
by
amount
a
of
book.
walking I've been doing, I think I have almost got that back. Because mine was from the previous day.
But
What does walking do?
Well, it was a hell of a lot of waving
Cardio.
about.
Yeah, but walking doesn't count. You have to
No.
actually rest.
yeah, it has to be standing still, eating, having
That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, I'm going to keep looking at these tapestries. I think JD or Rory should do something in here.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
my
character don't give a shit.
What was I going to say? Yeah, because it's getting late in the day, you like it starts to get dark again, and you hear like the rain clouds start to roll in, as like the distant roar of thunder. Like
Is there any rain at night then?
is this acid rain as well?
you don't know.
It always is.
You'll have to wait and
Because
find
we're
out.
closer to the crater, which you said gets more acidic.
Yeah, but we don't know about the rain in London.
Not that, no.
And not Bill.
So yeah.
What sections of artifacts are there? What type of artifacts are like held here?
Like I said, you walked through the war section of the museum of like all the armored beasts that used to like be used during war. There's also like a section of what's it called? Like what's like clothing? Clothing. So there's like sort of weirdly skin tight.
Yeah. You sort of quit on skin tight. Max?
Max?
Max, your last word was not
Max!
skin tight.
Max! Max!
He says the word skin tight and then dies.
Kinky.
But for all we know at the moment.
How weird.
Yeah.
Strange.
To DM.
Oh shit. Oh.
Oh.
Let me try this. Let's move. I moved us up back.
Morning to you, ladies. My name is